And you thought the legs were the power source. Well, they support the swinging of the club, and they help it get out in the right direction, but they're really not the power source. They aren't what really generates that circle and really gets it accelerating, that club head accelerating around that circular path, contacting the ball. There are basically three power sources that people use to try to send the ball out to the hole. And one is just the body source. Let's just imagine that I had this club and I had it stuck into my body. I had no arms, and I had to play golf this way. I had to go in a circle, around, down to a ball, just turn my body and go back and through. And that's really the way that most people try to play golf. They're so frozen up on the ball, and they turn and they try to just do it with their body. The second power source that people try to use is just arms. They don't have a very good grip. Maybe it's way up in their palm where they can't really make a good power swing, which we're getting into, and they just use their arms back and around. They try to kind of use a circle, but it's a little bit farther, but still that's not where the power is. The real power source comes in when you can cock those wrists up like this, and we talked about this in the grip, having the hands on there where the wrist can cock up at a 90-degree angle. But watch the power I can get with very little effort. I'm going to put my hands together on the club, my feet together, I'm balanced, and now watch, I'm going to take very little body, very little arms, and just simply cock the club to here, through the ball and recock it to there. Watch the distance. Cock it and through. It went about 3 times as far as the other two. That's where the power comes. As you learn to swing the club circular, we place our hands on the club so that centrifugal force can work. We then work on setting up to the ball, getting the right distance. Then we worked on how to coil that body to sustain that circular force. But then within that circle, there's that hinging, that cocking of the wrists within the circle that really generates the power through that ball. That's kind of a flailing motion. Let me go back to the circle now with the hula hoop and with the ruler. I'm going to open it up a little bit. And see, as we go up and we cock the wrists at the top, and then as the body starts that uncoiling motion, the hands come in on this circle here, the inner path, then they can re-cock themselves through the ball. But what it does is it produces a flailing motion. That's where the power comes. When those wrists can be unleashed through and around to a circular position, to a recock position on the forward side, that's where the power comes in. You've got a way to really see that. This is going to really show you what happens with the wrists as they make that cocking motion around the circle. Well, let's just imagine that this is a golf club and the toe is where the arrow is. And as I swing back, I turn, and we've talked about the coiling motion, and halfway back the arrow's up to the hole at the top, through to a toe-up position on the forward side. You see, that's the symmetry of the golf swing. Can you see that? Now, can you see it? From this angle, do you see that? What's happening? See? The symmetry of the swing is allowing those wrists to cock and recock around the circle. There, through to there. In the swing, then, as we swing back, it's really similar, the back swing and the forward swing. Back and through. Now I like to use this because I can see the arrows in different positions. And look what it's doing to my wrists. See, there is really a recocking motion. Now, what you've got in your little box are some stickers. And you don't need a hockey stick. We're going to build one for you, kind of your own little miniature one, but we're going to put it on the golf club. So pick up your stickers. Now you've got some little stickers in your box that you can put on your clubs, just like these. This is going to be your hockey stick that you can practice with. Now I would suggest if you're a beginning golfer, you begin with using the happy face and the arrow. And as you make your swing, that happy guy is just going to continue to look at you if you do it correctly. And if you're a more advanced player, you may just want to use the arrow out to the toe. Now I'm going to show you, through the use of the hockey stick, how these clubs can be your hockey stick. So I'm going to take the one with the arrow, and I want you to watch this now. Here's the symmetry. Back, toe up, toe to the hole. What do we say? Uncoil, circular through the ball, toe up. Now you see how the toe came up on this side? Now, what happens when you slice the ball? You come down around the circle, and where does the arrow go? See? It doesn't complete the circle. And also, the wrists stay locked. They don't complete their recocking motion. Now, what you could do in your living room, and I would suggest that you just take your feet, put them together, take your little arrow club and pretend like it's a hockey stick, and just turn back to where you have a toe up here, through to where you have a toe up on this side. Keep a light grip, keep your shoulders nice and relaxed, and just do little pacing drills like this, just like I'm doing. Watch the arrow. Feel the centrifugal force bring it back. Go a little higher. And this is where you're really going to learn, and you're also going to feel what it feels like. Backwards and forwards. To a toe up, to a toe up. That's the feeling that you need to develop. That's the symmetry of the swing. But the thing that is really going to help you more than anything else is the hanger. That's what this tape's all. This is the most important thing of all. And it's going to give you a feeling for that power source that will be long-lasting. It's something that as you work with this, you're going to be able to do it and practice with it over and over again, and then when you go out on the course, you're not even going to have to think about power. It's going to come and it's going to flow, and you're not going to believe what this is going to do for your game. Now take your hanger, pick it up, and hold it out in front of you like this, and put it down in your fingers of your target hand. Get it down right in the very bottom of your fingers, right here, and put the hook so that it's resting on your forearm, like that. Got that? Now we'll turn it over. Now we're going to just bring it down, and we're going to place it right on top of the grip. Okay, now you need to see that this hook is lined up with the leading edge of the club. Now, let me take the little club and show you what that should look like. It'll be a little clearer for you. So you want this hook to be lined up with the leading edge of the club, just like that. Do you see that? Okay. And we put that on the club, and then take your grip, and then put it down. And then if you make your wrist cock at a 90-degree angle, this hook should brush your arm right up in this position. You see that? Now, if your hanger is down too far, too low, and you do it, see, you're not going to get it up there. So readjust. Just kind of slide it up and to where the hook is on the face of the club. And as you make your wrist cock, you can touch your forearm right there. And you don't have to think if you're making a correct wrist cock. It is right. It will tell you by the touching of your forearm with the hook. Now, Set up to an imaginary ball. If you've got a club, this would be great to do. You want to do it right in your living room. Do this a couple of times to feel that powerful position. Then simply turn halfway back, and in this position, the hook should be up. We've already talked about the toe being up to the top, and it should touch your forearm. Do you see that? Is that real clear? I hope that's so clear. And that's what you should feel. Now, if you don't, you're not going to have that wrist cock. You're not in a position for power. If it's up like this, you just can't do it. So you're going to be able to practice here, looking down at an imaginary ball, and know from the feeling of this touching your arm if you're doing it correctly. If you don't, then you need to see that. You need to feel that. Got it? Now, we start with that uncoiling motion, and we go through here, and we recock it over to here. Here, there, through, here, and up over the shoulder. Now you can practice this back and forth. I like to take little short swings with my feet together. Feel it on both sides. Now you can take one arm off. Take your right hand off and do it. Cock it. Back. Close your eyes and do it. Take your time when you practice. You spend a lot of money on golf. And you want to get those swings so that they're natural and automatic. And that's the power source. You're building these feelings, you're building this representation into your swing so that when you go out, you're going to have this as a part of your picture. And then put your right hand on, and there we go. Backwards and forwards. Take this to the practice range. Practice with it before you play some shots. Work with it back and through, then take it off, and then transfer those feelings to your golf shot. You may even want to use the arrows on the club. With the hanger also, when you put that on there correctly, and you swing back, you'll see the arrow will be up, the hook's up, it's up over your shoulder, it's through, and the arrow's up on this side. So there's just all kinds of combinations of ways that you can practice the game. But this gives you the knowledge, the understanding, and the feel that you know you're practicing correctly. It's not going to lie to you. So work with it. Now let me show you one other thing that you can do that will help you build that feeling of the uncoiling of the body and how that relates to the cocking and uncocking of the wrist. Just that's the power source. If you've got a broom, everybody's got old brooms in their garages. This is a real old one. Paint it 2 colors. This one I've got the white representing the toe of the club. Red is the face. Green is the back of the club. And practice with it. I love this. Turning back, toe is up. Red, I see red, and as I come through, you can see as I come through the ball, to recock my wrists, I'll change colors. Watch. How's that picture? Now, if I want to develop power, the power comes when I can uncoil and accelerate my hands around the circle, recocking them. See that? And that's why this is a great training aid. It does everything that the coat hanger does for you when you practice. So take your little practice clubs, put the arrows on them. Let me give you a quick little drill. To put your feet together and stand about, put the club down about maybe 10 inches away from a ball, then swing back. This little drill I was showing earlier about toe up to toe up, arrow up to arrow up, and then just start creeping in on the ball. Just arrow up, see? And then through to the hole. You won't believe how fantastic that feels and how easy it is. And the ball will probably make a nice little draw on it. Now, you can use this on the practice tee to practice these drills. Then the next one would be take your hanger up and put it on the club and feel it here and there, back and through. You can see the arrow. You've got the feedback from the hook touching your arm. And I would suggest when you first try to do this that you start with about an 8-iron and you tee the ball up. And feel it here and just simply go back and through. Play some little shots like that. Don't try to make big full swings with this. These are new feelings for you. So have patience. Then, finally, work with the tempo ball and the hanger to feel this motion. You can hear it and you can feel it when you do it right. And that's what the ultimate feeling is for you. We've taught you how to create a circle. We've taught you how to cock your wrist. We've taught you how to support it. And the thing is, we've given you the tools to help you know that you're doing it correctly. So let's go back and review what we've learned and put it into the full swing.